Live 5 News starts now with a first alert severe weather alert.
We just learned moments ago that a tornado watch for the Tri-County has been called off for most of the low country.
We are tracking widespread damage across the area, and we're going to get to that in just a second.
But first, Chief Meteorologist Bill Walsh here now. Bill, what a night, but most of it's out of here and over now,
yeah,
right?
In fact, rare long track tornadoes. In fact, in particular, that one we were talking about up toward Walterboro, all the way up towards St. George, and then beyond. More on that in a moment. The good news is most of that's on the way out. Let me show you the things that we are tracking right now. It's to the big board we go again. First alert, Super Doppler Max gave you the first alert to these storms about 10 minutes to 8 o'clock tonight. This giant dynamic storm system continues to spin well out to our west. The perfect ingredients out ahead of it. Warm tropical air, strong winds aloft in the upper atmosphere, divergence aloft, all really setting the stage for these big storms that we had in here tonight. Now let me show you what's going on as far as the watch. The watch has been dropped. The tornado watch, which we had issued earlier, has been dropped for the Tri-County, but is still in place for Georgetown up to Williamsburg County until 3 o'clock in the morning. So for you folks up in Georgetown, up in Andrews, up at Pawleys Island, up toward Neesmith Kingstree, still have that watch until a little bit later on. Even a warning still continues way up there to the west of Myrtle Beach. Now let me go ahead and take a peek at what's out there right now. Still some leftover showers for you folks on up in toward Georgetown County. A couple of thunderstorms there. These showers continue to pull away, but we do have another line just to the west of Walterboro. We're going to keep an eye on those as they push off to the north and east over the next little while. So here's what to expect. Overnight tonight, we're going to keep that slight chance of some thunderstorms in our forecast. Still some gusty winds. Even as the big storm pulls away, it will be windy through our Friday. The good news is we have a nice weekend ahead. In fact, coming up new in a few minutes, we'll talk more about that and your weekend weather as we continue to track not only these storms, but what you can expect for the upcoming weekend. So don't go to bed just yet.
And we're also monitoring outages out there, so keep it tuned there. About 1,200 people without power in Colleton County.
All right, now we are going to take things right now to Walterboro, tracking that possible tornado, which may have that touchdown there.
Our Colby Satterfield, she's live there right now and showing us some of the damage left behind. Colby, you told us that one person's home has been destroyed.
Raphael, yes, I'm actually on that person's home now. Take a look. This is just one of the many branches on this front porch that blew up in this storm that went through here. Now take a look at this, guys. A tree has gone completely through the wall of this home. Now take a look right next to it. The windows along the front of the house completely shattered. And also, I want you to notice this. Look at all of the little pieces of debris that are all over the front of this house. Now, I'm going to take you inside and show you what it looks like in here. Rain and water is coming through the roof, but look, it looks like a disaster zone in here. You can see where the windows have busted out, and if you walk with me here, there is just glass everywhere and water all over the ground. Now, I want you to know that a family was in the home at the time of the storm. They were in a bathroom that had no windows. They are all okay right now. The house had this much water in it whenever they got out. Now, take a look and walk with me here. There is pieces of a branch in the kitchen floor that this storm had brought in. Now, I want to show you the back porch, which also has damage as well. If you walk with me here, you walk out the door and there are branches everywhere. And if you look down the porch, you can see a boat, and it is in the backyard now. Now, coming up in just a little bit, I'll tell you where that boat was before the storm got here and how it got in the backyard. But for now, I'm live in Walterboro. Colby Satterfield, Live 5 News.
Thanks so much for taking us through that, Colby. That's pretty amazing. And there's been damage from all across the low country, talking about trees and power lines being down, several homes, businesses and cars as well. This, you're looking at a picture right there before that from Mount Carmel. That is where a tree had fallen onto a car in the roadway. Someone was actually inside driving at the time. And then this right here, this is out of Holly Hill. A store roof blew off into the roadway. Police there are saying that area of Pine Street is shut down, obviously, and are asking people just to avoid that area tonight.
All right, and back to those power outages. More than 1,000 people, about 1,200 people now without power in the Colleton County area alone. That's according to Coastal Electric Cooperative.
And we aren't the only ones dealing with these damaging storms. In Georgia, the same wave of storms tore apart an auto parts store. It happened in Garden City. We're told at least 6 other buildings were also damaged in that very same area. Roofs were torn off businesses. Several trucks were damaged in the parking lot there. One person was hurt, but they are expected to be okay.
And we say it all the time, but when these kinds of storms happen, you want to make sure you have our app. So if you don't have it downloaded now, do it. All you have to do is head to your app store, search Live 5 News Weather. It is free to download.
And this is into our newsroom. Within the past half an hour, we've learned the Berkeley County coroner is on the scene of a car that hit a person. Happened on Mudville Road in Cross. Of course, once we get any new details for you, we'll bring them to you on air and online at live5news.com. Also new right now at 11, a baby is in critical condition after the Charleston County Sheriff's Office says the 18-month-old was found unresponsive in a bath. Happened on Mineral Springs Road off Highway 162 in Hollywood. The baby was rushed to the hospital. An investigation is underway tonight.
A new pier could be coming to Folly Beach. The Charleston County Finance Committee has approved $45 million to go towards park and recreation projects. $7 million would go towards rebuilding the Folly Pier. It would take 2 years to do the design and permit process, with another 2 years to do the actual work. The new pier would be different than the current, having concrete pilings hold up the pier with a wooden flood base.
A parole officer is facing charges tonight after investigators say he had sex with a woman on probation under his watch. The State Law Enforcement Division has charged 46-year-old Craig Smith with misconduct in office. Investigators say he engaged in consensual sex with a probationer last year in Georgetown County. He no longer works for the Department of Probation, Parole, and Pardon Services.
Charleston County Sheriff's officers say suspicious phone calls led them to a dead body at a home in Adams Run. We're told deputies received suspicious calls about a body in the backyard of a Jupiter Hill Road home. When they got there, they found 26-year-old Kenneth Dent dead from a gunshot wound. The case is being investigated as a homicide. Berkeley County deputies have arrested a man accused of stabbing a woman twice in the neck and slicing her vocal cords. J.D. Gray is being charged with attempted murder. Deputies say he and the victim were driving down Liberty Hall Road in Goose Creek Tuesday when Gray started attacking the victim. Her condition is unknown. No word on when Gray will be in court.
New tonight, the Charleston County School District has named their Teacher of the Year. And congratulations to Mia Pace, a teacher at Mitchell Elementary School. She also won a car for all her hard work that she does for her students throughout the year.
And of course, congratulations go to Megan Hatcher as well. She was named the Teacher of the Year in Dorchester District 2. Hatcher is a 4th grade teacher at Sand Hill Elementary. And Nicholas Snyder, a teacher at Cane Bay High School. He was recently named Teacher of the Year for Berkeley County. Congratulations to all of these outstanding educators.
Coming up tomorrow, lawmakers in South Carolina are expected to come to work early as the clock continues to tick on a new road funding bill. The 2 bills headed through the House and Senate right now would increase the gas tax over the next 5 to 6 years. There are only 3 more regular days left in this session.
Also happening tomorrow, Governor Henry McMaster is set to give the commencement speech at South Carolina State University's graduation. 500 students are expected to walk the stage in Orangeburg. It marks the first time in 14 years that a governor has addressed graduating seniors at South Carolina's only public historically black university. Governor Mark Sanford delivered the address back in 2003. Also tomorrow, students at USC Columbia and Trident Tech, they're graduating as well. The USC Columbia graduation ceremony will be at Colonial Life Arena at 3 p.m., while students at Trident Tech will cross the stage at 7 at the North Charleston Coliseum. Congratulations to all of those graduates, along with our very own here at Live 5 News.
And happening tomorrow, students and staff at R.B. Stahl High School will launch a weather balloon as they prepare for their upcoming solar eclipse, in August. The school is helping NASA study the summer's eclipse. The balloon will transmit live images of the eclipse to NASA. Tomorrow's launch is a practice run.
That's great video.
Limerick pride motivates us to do our very best.
I came home to find my kitchen completely flooded. Limerick was there in a flash. Fixed the problem without even ordering parts. They truly are lifesavers.
Call Limerick Plumbing, Heating, and Air today.
Limerick pride motivates us to do our very best.
I'm on a budget, but Limerick was able to diagnose the problem and find a perfect solution that I could afford. You don't know how much that meant to me and my family.
Call Limerick Plumbing, Heating, and Air today.
House Republicans have taken a step towards their goal of repealing and replacing the Affordable Care Act. Today, the House approved the revised health care bill. Republicans say it's needed to provide health care coverage for people who have seen their premiums rise under Obamacare. Democrats say the Republican plan will cause people with pre-existing conditions to lose their insurance. The bill now heads off to the Senate.
The Goose Creek Police Department is investigating a video of an alleged sexual assault involving students at Goose Creek High School. The video shows a 16-year-old girl and 2 male students. The alleged victim told police she was unsure of how her clothes came off. The incident is still under investigation. No arrests have been made.
Much of the low country seeing damage after storms and possibly a tornado ripped through our area.
Let's take things back to our Colby Satterfield. She is live with us in Walterboro, where a homeowner says her home obviously damaged by that tornado. You were showing us earlier today inside of her house, and now for a boat.
Yeah, Lisa, I just stepped outside now. The boat was in the backyard where I'm at now. Now take a look. There's a downed tree in the backyard, and you can see lots of debris here. Now, something you can't see is the roof of this home. It's so dark, it's not able for you to see, but I can show you. Here's part of the roof. Several pieces of the roof are scattered around the property. Now, I was telling you earlier how there was a boat in the front yard. Well, now the boat has been picked up and moved to the backyard. And luckily, it looks like it could almost clip the side of the house. Now, I want to tell you also, we've been talking with the homeowner for about an hour or so that we've been here. Here's another piece of the roof here. He said he was watching Live 5, and whenever Bill Walsh said that there could be the tornado warning coming towards Walterboro, he and his wife and daughters went to safety. He said about 20 seconds later, he heard the most awful noise he'd ever heard in his life, and that's when he came out and saw all that damage that I showed you earlier. Now, take you back to the boat. This was in the front yard before this storm rolled through. It has been picked up and moved. Luckily, it did not tip over, and it doesn't look like there's too much damage, but take a look over here. Look how close it came to clipping the house. About 2 inches away the motor is from clipping the house. So the owner says that it was picked up and lifted and moved here. This doesn't look like it has much damage. The house, on the other hand, does, but they say the insurance agent will be out here first thing tomorrow morning. And I also talked with several of his neighbors, one who says he lives just on the other side of this property. He said he lived in a small house and it had been picked up and moved. And I saw lots of debris just trying to get over here, but we're not going to be able to see the full extent of what happened here until the daylight tomorrow morning. For now, I'm live in Walterboro. Colby Satterfield, Live 5 News.
Thank you so much for that report, Colby. And meanwhile, another headache for some passengers, this time on a Delta Airlines flight. An Orange County family says some of them were kicked off a Los Angeles flight because it was oversold. Family says they were also threatened with jail time after they were told to give up their son's seat because the airline needed it.
So what are we supposed to do? I got 2 infants and my wife. We have nowhere to stay. There's no more flights. What are we supposed to do, sleep in the airport?
The couple says they have not gotten a refund. They had to book a hotel room and rebook seats on a flight the next morning. The couple says they don't even want their money back. They just want an apology.
Well, it sounds like something out of a movie, but two students at the University of Kentucky accused of trying to steal a final exam. Happened around 2 o'clock this morning. A university spokesman was working late when he says he caught the two students in the act.
Apparently one of the students had somehow gotten up into the ceiling of the building and had crawled through that open area and had dropped down in to the faculty instructor's office in order to try to steal a test.
Mission impossible? Not quite. The one student said it wasn't his first time sneaking into offices after hours and had successfully stolen an exam in the past. For their efforts, both students are now facing felony charges.
And have a look at this. Imagine you're driving along, relaxing, when all of a sudden you notice an unexpected passenger hanging onto your car. For one North Carolina couple, that passenger was a snake. The video was taken by a woman in Gastonia. She says that she and her husband were just out for a drive when they noticed the snake clinging to the hood.
And I'm just glad that my husband was with me, because if it wasn't, I mean, it would have been a different story.
The Low Country's news leader. Your first alert forecast from the most trusted weather team. Live 5 News.
All right, after a very busy night, let's talk about your drive to work and school tomorrow morning on your Friday, and we'll get you caught up right there in the morning, right around 65. Few leftover showers around. Don't rule it out until, say, 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning, especially during the early morning hours, maybe even the rumble of thunder. Outside lunch, yeah, it should be okay, 73. Notice cooler temperatures, 74 after work, so a good-looking weather situation once we get by the morning. And what we have next coming up overnight tonight, we are watching this big dynamic storm continuing to spin around to our west. Out ahead of it, that's where we're seeing all of the energy. So as we zoom on in right now, the only leftover watches up into, well, actually it looks like it's been oh no, this is a different map. I do want to show you that in a moment. I wanted to pull this up. This is something cool. This is actually the long track of the rotating winds around that cell that we were, the tornado we were tracking over the during the last the hours between, say, about 7:50 for about 2 hours. But look at this. That's the track right there. Amazing just to watch it. And very rare do we get that kind of long track shear. And again, that's the track that took. I'm sure the Weather Service will be out there in a bunch of different areas over the next day or two to determine just how strong this thing was. Enough certainly to do the damage we've seen earlier. There's that watch area again, dropped right here throughout the Tri-County. Georgetown back over to Williamsburg still have a that's of course a tornado watch, and again that's going to be expiring at 3 o'clock in the morning or earlier. We'll continue to track that right now. Here's what we have left out west of Orangeburg. Still some showers, believe it or not, out that way. Some of these are going to pinwheel through the area. A few light showers back over to Colleton County. And along the front itself, just to the east of Atlanta, these storms are going to move to the east overnight tonight as the actual cold front pushes east. So don't rule out the rumble of thunder overnight through the morning hours. So for that, we'll give you the first alert as to when to expect that. Again, at 11 o'clock tonight is where we are. I'll put the clock into motion. Let me take you through the overnight back to about 6 o'clock in the morning. Again, few leftover showers. Can't rule out the rumble of thunder. And then by, say, afternoon, this all kicks out of here and we dry out. And we see improving weather as we head into the afternoon and evening. So bottom line looks good once we get by the morning hours. Right now we're sitting at 72 degrees. Gusty wind out of the south-southeast at about 17 miles an hour. As we look around the low country, 72 up in Georgetown, 73 Mount Pleasant, 75 Isle of Palm, still some 70s down along the coastline, 70 out in Somerville, 68 St. George, Walterboro at 69 degrees. And again on the weather map, very windy out ahead of this weather system. The upper low will pull away. Tonight's front will kick through and we'll see improving weather for the weekend for sure. So overnight storms still a possibility, although the severe criteria now has dropped. I don't expect severe weather overnight, but can't rule out a little rumble of thunder here and there, 65. And then on the flip side, 83 for tomorrow. So morning showers, possibly a morning thunderstorm, then clearing out. So that 60% chance is mostly in the morning, and then in the afternoon looks really, really nice, a little above normal actually. And as we take a look at the boating forecast, gale warnings continue offshore. Small craft advisory continues through tomorrow. Even though the storms are going to be gone, we'll still have a windy situation on our hands. Morning storms, afternoon sunshine, southwest winds becoming northwest 15 to 25, low tide 10:54 in the morning. All right, we always start with your weekend first, right? Let's talk about Friday. Morning showers, then 74 in the afternoon. But look at the Saturday and Sunday, fantastic. Even most of Friday looks to be okay as we deep dive into the 7-day. Congratulations to the Trident Tech graduations tomorrow evening. Looks good once we get by the morning showers. Saturday, 75. CSU is graduating, right? Big CSU. Gotta love that. And, of course, the beautiful graduation going on over at the Citadel, and whoever else might be having a graduation. You can see great, fantastic graduation weather into Saturday in the mid-70s, 73 at 2 o'clock, 74 or so at 3 o'clock. And then as we make our way through the afternoon and evening, we stay pretty nice. And then even on into Monday, Tuesday, we're back into the low 80s. Very nice, but even really gets warm into early next week. I'll give you the first alert to upper 80s by, say, Thursday. All right, join us in the morning. Jordan will be here 5 a.m. for an update as you kick off your day. We'll keep you updated overnight on the app as well. We'll post how many cups of Joe and what to expect overnight here in just a few minutes. Back to you guys.
Happening tomorrow, Charleston Mayor John Tecklenburg and Charleston Police Chief Greg Mullen are set to be recognized during the 2017 Community Relations and Developments Award ceremony. The award honors individuals who have made significant and constructive contributions to the community. The award ceremony is at the College of Charleston at 6 o'clock. And a reminder, tomorrow's Live 5 now at night at the River Dogs game. You can head out to the Joe and meet members of our very own Live 5 crew. Tomorrow's game against Delmarva starts at 7:05 p.m. The team will also be celebrating Cinco de Mayo with a lot of mayonnaise, fireworks, and military appreciation night. Maybe that's Cinco de Mayo. Depends on how you want to do it. Before we go, a look at your Lucky for Life winning numbers.
Now, from the Low Country's news leader, it's time for the Hudson Nissan Sports Desk.
Good evening, everybody. We'll begin with hockey, where the Stingrays have taken advantage of being at home throughout this postseason. The Rays a perfect 5-0 coming into tonight. If they could make it 6-0, they would win their series against Florida and advance to the third round. Parker Milner has been a rock for the Rays in goal this postseason. In the first period, he got some help from the offense. Rays on the attack. It's going to be off the miss. Andrew Chernichin with the rebound, the putback, and the goal, his 5th of the playoffs, and puts the Rays on top 1-0. Less than a minute later, Rays at it again. Watch the great give and go. In the end, it's going to be Olivier Archambault. Great move here at the end, puts that one in, his 2nd of the postseason. Stingrays go on top 2-0, and Milner pretty much took over from there for the Rays in goal. Watch here as Milner comes up with a great diving stop, keeping that one out of the goal. It was still 2-0 after 1. Second period, more of the same as Milner just kept it up, coming up with another nice save there. Still 2-0 after the second period. Switching out to the third, Everblades finally break through. It's going to be John McCarron. Beating Milner for the score, cuts the lead down to 2-1, but that's as close as Florida would get. Milner coming up with a nice save here with the glove. He would have 28 on the night, and the Stingrays are moving on. They're going to the conference finals. They upset the Everblades 2-1 and win the series 4-1.
Yeah, it shows a lot of character in that group right now. To come back, win 3 in a row at home, you don't see that very often, and proud of the guys in there. I can't speak enough about the leadership. Trevor Gillies, Rob Flick, Joe Devin, the list goes on. So it's an easy team to coach because they want to win so desperately.
These next few days is just huge for us, not to have to go back down to Florida, grind out a Game 6, Game 7. So we're really fortunate, and I'm proud of our guys tonight. That was awesome.
To high school baseball, the lower state playoffs beginning tonight for Bishop England in 3A as they played host to Waccamaw. Bishop's playing some good defense early on. The shot over to third. Mag McManus does a nice job to knock this one down, recovers well, and gets the out over at first to keep things scoreless early. Sean Rooney, solid again on the mound for the Bishops tonight. Early on, gets the strikeout here. He would add a couple more throughout the evening. Bishop England would get enough offense. They pick up a win 6-4. They advance in the lower state winners bracket. They will be home coming up on Saturday. In the pros, the River Dogs trying to get back in the win column, playing host to Lakewood. Bottom of the third, Dogs down 2-0. Angel Aguilar, the grounder over to third. That's going to score 1 run from third. The throw over to first, it's what we in the business call not good. It allows another run to come in to score, ties the game all up at 2 apiece. Top of the 6th. Lakewood coming right back. Derek Hall crushes one into right center. A solo homer puts the Blue Claws on top 3-2. After that, the rains would come down and they wouldn't let up. This one called after 7. Blue Claws win it 3-2. The River Dogs have lost 6 in a row at Riley Park. To college football, the lawyers for Gamecocks receiver Deebo Samuel says they've done their own investigation into the alleged assault that happened at a Five Points bar over the weekend, and they've confirmed Samuel's statement that he wasn't there and had nothing to do with the situation. This coming from a statement from the Lowry law firm in Columbia. They also said they expect the Columbia Police Department to clear Samuel of any wrongdoing. Samuel, along with teammate Sky Moore and former Gamecock Jalen Dredd, were named in the incident report in which the victim said the trio physically assaulted him after he confronted them for knocking his cell phone out of his hand.
A wild, wicked night for a lot of folks in our viewing area here.
Yeah, most of that's on the way out. A leftover shower, thunderstorm not out of the question overnight tonight into the early morning hours. And then the weekend looks fantastic, even really after the coffee break hour tomorrow morning. Your rest of your Friday looks pretty good. That's mostly in the morning. We'll update that at 5 a.m. right here.
So what time in the morning will it be out of here? About 8,
Probably
9, 10?
8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. It'll be completely out.
Good.
There you go.
Trying to get some golf in. Trying to make sure. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.